What's good, everybody? Welcome to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe checking in. We got Janice checking in. Ladies, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube?
Listen, shout out to everybody joining us tonight. Listen, this is the first night we are hot on YouTube. So yeah, like I said, we got to get our subscribers up. We got to get our support up over here on the YouTube platform. So everybody watching us, man, share this thing out. Drop a like, help us with the algorithm. Like I said, just share and like I said, drop a subscribe. So anybody they can come over to YouTube. They can look up or search the Kandid Konvos page or Kandid Konvos. And let's say just drop a subscribe. And like I said, we're going to start pushing a lot of our content over here to YouTube. We appreciate you guys supporting. So man, let's get into this. We got a little housekeeping real quick. And then, like I said, we will get in to this show. And definitely, I said, if you're joining us, drop a comment. Let us know where you're representing from. Like I said, we appreciate all the support all over the world. I said, we're trying to take this thing global. So like I said, drop a comment. Let us know where you're representing from. We're going to do some housekeeping real quick. So we'll do that real fast. Let's see. All right. Shout out to one of our first sponsors, Havana Handbags. So Havana Handbags, they're based in Metro Detroit. So they make custom clutches or custom purses for the ladies out of cigar boxes. Like I said, one-off unique pieces, all handmade. So like I said, nobody going to be jocking your style with these. These are all originals. So man, the Don Carlos, the Cohiba Blue, the Father Black, the Ashton, they got them all. So definitely go check them out at HavanaHandbags.com. Havana Handbags with an S.com. All right. Shout out to our second sponsor. This is Two Sons Juice Co. This is a cold pressed juice company based in Metro Detroit. All natural, no preservatives, no chemicals, no water, none of that. They got the cleanses. They got the individual bottles. I said, essentially, you can order whatever you want. Everything is delivered to you. I said, they're a service in Metro Detroit. So if you're trying to get your body together, trying to get your health together, definitely go check them out. The number 2 sonsjuiceco.com. 2sonsjuiceco.com.
I had a question about Two Sons. Y'all still got them cleanse kits?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know that's there.
I need that cleanse kit.
Well, see, I'm gonna leave that website right there. You know what to do. All right. So, I know where my guy Vince at. He's supposed to be doing his little piece right now, but hopefully he'll join us tonight. Yeah, we got to get him on here. All right.
Your earrings cute.
Oh, girl, rainbow for like $3.
I like that.
Wait a minute.
I like statement earrings.
Wait.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Wait a minute.
We just had to have our moment.
I see.
Bruh.
All right. So man, we're going to get on into this topic. Like I said, we got another interesting topic for tonight. So the topic for tonight's show is deal with it. You should have chose better. Let me run that back. Topic for tonight, deal with it. You should have chose better. All right. So I know on one of our previous shows, we had a conversation around choosing and picking, basically how we're picking people, how we're picking mates, companions, people we date, and so forth. And then let's then tying that back to the outcome that we see. So yeah, we want to basically do a show about that tonight, just to have some discussion around it. Come up with some solutions, talk about some issues, some improving our outcomes, and so forth. But you guys know how I get down. I got a little video, just provide a little context, and then we're gonna get into this conversation. So let me throw this up. We're gonna get into it.
You know what? Y'all women don't want no good man. No, y'all don't. Y'all want the thugs. Yeah, y'all want the guys that's gonna break your heart. Yeah, you do. You keep on talking to the same type of dudes. Yes, you do. Be quiet. You do. You don't want the good guys, the simps, the guys that stay in the house and won't cheat on you. You don't want him. He's too boring, right? He's too lame. He's not attractive. Girl, you better enjoy that peace that comes with that man. That man offers peace that you ain't never had in your entire life. You hear me? You better get with that man because of what he can do for your soul. You better get with that man for what he can do for your soul, not for what he can do. Oh, he look good out here. Oh, he fine. Oh, baby, that don't mean anything. The older you get, you want peace and stability and love. That's it. That's all you should ever want from a man. Stop saying y'all want a good man when you ain't even attracted to what a really good man offers you, okay?
Okay. All right. So let's get into it. Deal with it. You should have chose better. All right. So yes, I'm sure you guys all heard the young lady. Oh, here you go, right here. Vince, what's good, man?
Hello. Trying to get myself together. I will join you guys shortly.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, so you heard the young lady. So let me switch this around a little bit. There we go.
He done became a straight celebrity.
No, you know, Vince is he is a celebrity out here. He come with the fragrance of the day. You know, the folks have been loving the fragrances. So, like I said, he is definitely a celebrity now. So let's shout out to Vince. Shout out to Vince.
He got his own
right.
segment on the show.
He sure do. I'm gonna let, like I said, if he jump on cam, I'm gonna let him do a segment too. But well, like I said, we'll get on into this conversation just to get it going. So I'm sure you guys saw the video. The young lady was talking about the fact that and like I said, I won't target it straight at ladies, right? Because this is a man and woman issue. Oh, camera doing something. This is a man and woman issue, right? But she was talking about the fact that, you know, in her video, that ladies don't know what they want. They don't really want the good dudes. They want the bad dudes, the dudes that's going to break their heart, the knuckleheads, the dudes with the swag. You know, they want all of that. So essentially, we're going to make a comparison. They want the Future versus the Russell. We're going to use that for comparison. And I got to say that some of her points were definitely valid. You know, I've seen some of those things myself. So some of her points was definitely valid. But I think the issue exists on both sides. You know, when it comes to picking, when it comes to selecting mates or people to invest your time into. So yeah, I think it's a worthy conversation. And like I said, I want to get into it. Vince, you ready to do your thing before we get this started, man?
Yes. I had to let you guys know, you know, because we're on a different platform. I had to get my son to get me together. That's why I took him in. I was like, how do you do it?
It's all good, man. It's all good. The link is still the same. It still gets you to the same spot.
Right. I thought it was something different, but you know, I'm old.
That's all good, man. It's all good. I'm looking. You got a bottle of something over there, man?
I do have a fragrance for today. Prada. Very nice scent. This is more sporty scent. This is your sporty scent. This is your scent you put on if you're going to the Pistons game at LCA. Okay. And you're putting on your cap and your jersey. This is that smell.
Okay. Good stuff. You know, and let me say this, Vince. I appreciate you giving those descriptive breakdowns, right? So, like I said, as fellas are adding these scents, you know, to their little repertoire, their little secret weapon toolbox, you know, now they know which scent applies in which situation. So they can be on point with these ladies out here. So I appreciate you giving them breakdowns, man. That brings it all home.
Thank you. I have to give most of the credit to my wife, though. She you know.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, in that case, she got to hop on here one day, man, and you know, share some of her wisdom since she over there getting you hooked up over there, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her on, but you know, she doesn't have as much patience as I do. So,
okay, well, how about this? Tell her I'll let her pick the topic, then she can come on. But yeah, so like I said, we chatting about this picking, you know, and like I said, who we're selecting to spend and invest our time with. So yeah, I want to get y'all input on this. How y'all feel about the video? How do y'all feel about the topic of picking and how we're going about picking people, you know, in current day? Anybody can kick it off and then we get in it.
I mean, I would agree. I don't think she said anything that was. I mean, I don't think I know lies told. She. It seems that way. Women are, and obviously I'm speaking in general because this doesn't fit every woman, but a lot of women, you hear them say this a lot, like, where are the good men? There's no good men. Where are the good men? Right? But then when you ask them what kind of man they're looking for, I'm seeing a couple different things. I'm seeing that one, they don't know. They don't really have, like, they haven't formulated a concept of what this man would need to be, right? Or I'm hearing this a lot more lately, like, oh, he needs to be 6, 6, and 6. First of all, those are the devil's numbers. Second of all, who told y'all that? Like, where did that come from? Where did you guys formulate this particular recipe that the man has to be making 6 figures? He has to be 6 feet tall because that's clearly the only acceptable height these days. And he has to, basically, his package has to be at least 6 inches. I just want to know where this came from. What trend is this? Who started this one? Because I feel like it's something different every day. I just recently heard it said on another show, and I would have to, research for receipts, that the average woman is around 4'3". That's the average. Obviously, not every woman, but that's the average, right? So if that's the case, and that is true, then why you need to do this 6 feet? Why? Because if at 5'3", he could be 5'6" and be taller than you. With heels, okay, y'all. With heels, okay, y'all will be the same height.
Look at Janice.
Like, I'm just saying. I mean, if you're a taller woman, if you are a taller woman, then I can understand why you would want a taller man. But the average woman is not tall. So I guess what I'm saying is, for me, this is just proof case that women aren't necessarily basing, in general, women are not necessarily basing their criteria for who they want in a man off of facts, off of reality. There's a lot of unrealistic expectations. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like in the dating market, and I'm gonna say this for men too. Men have developed these unrealistic expectations as well. Like, and I don't know if this has always been the case, but I will say this: men are much more vocal about it right now. And I don't think that it's a problem that men are being vocal. I think that's fine. I think that's great. But I will say this, that this emergence of the manosphere has had some good impact, but it also has had some negative impact as well. And I think that you have a lot of men who are average themselves, and now they're walking around saying, well, she got to be bringing this to the table. And while we should all have standards, we all should have standards. But I have to wonder, are we all on both sides getting a little bit unrealistic with our standards? Because, now everybody's being so loud and obnoxious about what they want. But I feel like something that Vince has said on the show before, you might want something in particular, but what can you actually get based off of what you bring in? So if you're an average guy why do you expect a woman that might be deemed above average? And if you're an average woman, and first of all, ain't no wrong being average. If you're an average woman, why do you expect the guy that's like the hot commodity for every woman?
Well, I think to respond to that question, who is deciding the rating?
The same people that say he need to be 6'6" and 6.
Yeah, see, that's part of the problem.
I mean, who is doing this right now? Like, where is this stuff coming from?
Yeah, and like I said, I know that is a part of the issue, right? Because at the end of the day, and we can look at things in everyday life. You know, the value is set by who wants to acquire the product. Like, that's really what sets the value, right? So a store can charge, let's just say a car dealership, they can charge $200,000 for a car, but if nobody will buy it until the price is $100,000, then $200,000 ain't the value of the vehicle because nobody wanted to buy it at $200,000. The more realistic value is $100,000 because that's what somebody was willing to pay for it. And you know, when it comes to picking and rating for that matter, it's no different. Yeah, like I said, we see a lot of situations of people rating themselves higher than what the people who will be acquiring, or the people who be approaching you are rating you at. So that's a part of the issue as well. We got a lot of inflated, I don't know if I want to call it ego, I don't know what it is, but we got a lot of inflation. that word is running rampant. We got a lot of inflation going on out here right now. That's just my 2 cents on that. You want to say anything else, or you good?
I feel like men are more inflated than women, personally.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Men, yeah.
What?
Especially at this age.
How so?
I mean, but men have always been like that if you think about it. Usually a man can look a hot mess, as long as he got money, he can get the baddest chick. It's always been based off of that, you know? I think the difference is now a lot of women got their own money, so I'm just saying, like, what you doing now, then? You can't. I'm just saying, now a woman wants the man with the money, with a good job, and he needs to be what she's looking for. That's all I'm saying.
You know what, Vince? What you want to say?
I don't have to be 6 foot. He got to be 5'9" and above. That's it. 5'9".
Same thing.
I think the issues that society has told us and reaffirmed that we're both looking for the same thing, but our nature tells us something different. Because in all my years of dating, it didn't matter how much my date made, she didn't ever want to spend her money. Not for real, for real. So I think a lot of women think that, oh, well, I'm making this type of money, that makes me more valuable, but it does not. And I agree with Janice saying, because it's like a woman's beauty and her youthfulness. She can get pretty much who she wants. She can get the lawyer, the doctor, the athlete, or whoever. So I think it's not about what you want, is can you get it? And that's what the issue is becoming. People want these things, but their experience in their own life has showed them you've never had that. You want to say you want a guy that's 6 figures, but you've never even dated a guy that's 6 figures. And I think that men are more practical and more realistic because we are told every day who and what we are. Women, especially our Black women, have been lied to so much that they have a distortion of what men want. And I think that that's really a big issue in regards to our dating patterns and who we pick and how we pick. And I think that also it comes from this society has especially black women, have told women that it's their job to fix a man, to put a man together, and it does not work. If you look at all the movies, it's the lady and she got herself together, and it's the guy, and just like, I don't know if anybody watches The Shy. It's a story on there where the guy's a convict, he's out of prison, and she's successful, and she takes him home, and she has to tell him to lie about who he is to try to impress her father. But it was just a thing about trying to put somebody together and thinking they're going to change. I think that's a lot of problem too, is people think people are going to change and that their love is going to change them, instead of being realistic and seeing the person for who and what they are.
Right. It's a valid point. Go ahead, Johnny.
I was going to say this. I don't want to, I got to be careful. I do have family members or friends who are very out of shape. And then they'll show me the guy that they want. And the guy works out. And it just confuses me sometimes, I don't say anything, but I'm like, a lot of women do that. Like, and they'll be like, well, I work out. I go to the gym. So that's why I might get the guy that works out. Then I'm looking at them, just go to the gym or eat right. But you can't expect a man to have a 6-pack and then you eating ham hocks and greens every day. Like, how does that work?
So let me touch something you just said, because I think that's part of the problem. So you just said, I don't say anything. Why don't you say anything?
Because she don't want to hurt their feelings.
Bruh.
Nah, hold on. Nah, cause see, I think that's part of the problem. Cause see, dudes are different in that way. So if a brother's saying he trying to get somewhere, he trying to get some little, female or whatever it is, a dude will tell a dude, hey, bro, look here. You gonna have to tighten up. You got to get your money together before she even gonna look your way. Like we gonna lay it out for a brother. And typically a brother's gonna respond like, all right, bro, no, you right, because you know better than I do. So you right. So let me go get my bid. Let me go handle my bids first. Then I'm gonna circle back around to the little shorty over there. But in this case, why do females not want to tell other females that essentially they're not on point for what they claim that they're trying to get?
Go ahead, Chloe.
Nah.
I know me personally, I don't like to hurt people's feelings in a sense. Like, I just don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But it just, in my head, I'm like, I don't get it,
Yeah, I don't. I agree.
Hold on.
I think women. I'm sorry.
That's cap. Hold up.
It's because it to me it's I guess I'm just very common sense based, So if you say, hey, Johnny's, why you always get men that got nice bodies or things like that? And then they'll be like, oh, well, you work out and you eat right all day. And then I'm like, they'd be like, well, that's what I want. And then I'm like, but you're eating. In my head, it's just, to me, it's common sense. If you over here 200-300 pounds, it's just common sense to me. It's not saying men don't like some men do might be in shape and like big women, everybody. So maybe that's what I'm thinking too. Like some men might like her the way she is.
Yeah. Okay. I think.
Stop the cap.
So that's what we do, though, right? I mean, not even like saying like it's a bad thing, because I've done it too. I mean, it is a bad thing, but what I'm saying is I'm not judging you for it, because I've done it too. Like I have done it too, knowing that I should probably say something else, but going, that person is not going to be able to handle that. Like they're not going to be able to handle it. But really, we got to get out of that, because I think the fact that we have put ourselves in these echo chambers is the very reason why some men and women are walking around right now disillusioned. Like they're, just realistically speaking, a woman who, is overweight, and I don't mean just like she gained a few pounds. I mean overweight, right? Like overweight, and is still walking around here talking about, well, I want a man that's 6'6" and 6. And I just want to go like what Vince said. That might be what you want, but can you get that? Like, let's getting back to the topic of you should choose better, right? Like, what are some things that we should know as women? I'm gonna speak to women for a second because I'm a woman. That we should know as women, and this is a topic that came up recently too. That I've been seeing in these YouTube streets, but where a young lady, was overweight, great personality. She's cute too, all of that. Had, good job, all that. But she was overweight. And she was, you know, we're not talking about like a little bit of overweight. And she said she wanted to compete with the other girls for the hot commodity guys. And the host of the show was just kind of explaining to her, Kendra G. This was on Kendra G's show, and she was explaining to her, well, just being honest. And Kendra was being honest with her. She was still handling her with kid gloves, but she was being honest with her and saying, well, do you think you can really? Why do you think those guys are not going for you? And the young lady was honest and said because of their perception of me, not because she didn't really own it, right? She said because of their perception of how I look. And it's like, no, it's not their perception. You are overweight. She said she was in the gym, she was working on it. I believe her. You know what I'm saying? But she is not at the point yet where she has gotten rid of that weight. So, a real friend need to be like, sis, you might want to wait till you drop those LBs first before you get out here trying to compete. Because she was young, like in her early 30s or something like that. Before you start trying to compete with these other women for these hot commodity guys, you're not ready. You're not ready. You have to understand when a man is picking and he's a man of any kind of caliber, if he has a good head on his shoulder, he has taken the time to build himself, and he's grown himself financially and physically, mentally, spiritually, all the things that really matter. If he's done that, when he looks at a woman that is overweight, that it's the character. It's not the weight just by itself. It's the character. He's going to be thinking this woman has no self-control or no discipline, right? She doesn't.
And then I also think
so it's not about somebody's perception. It's reality. And I think a lot of women, men too, but I'm talking to the women right now, we're not dealing in reality. There's a lot of delusion on both sides. We're not dealing in reality. How we pick better, how we choose better is, first of all, just fundamentally looking at ourselves and saying, what am I putting out? Because why do I expect to get more than what I'm putting out? That's one. Two, if a person is looking at me as someone that they might want to be with, what are they seeing? If I'm overweight and I'm carrying extra weight, I'm not taking care of myself. I mean, I haven't figured out my life situation. I don't have a stable job. These are things that they're going to tie back to character traits. They're going to tie all of these things back to character traits. Are you responsible? They're going to see irresponsibility. And men and women, let's just be honest. We're going to see that too. If a man is in his 30s, okay, he don't have a stable job, don't have his own place, don't have a car, we're going to look at that and go, oh, he's not responsible. He's irresponsible. He lacks discipline. He lacks ambition. We just run down the list. Well, men are doing the same thing to us. She overweight. She don't got no self-control. She don't got no discipline.
But can we do the overweight thing? Only thing I say about overweight, that like the question is, you should choose better. Let's just use from the man perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of women that's overweight, and they're really good women. So
yes, but they don't care.
But I get it. What you're saying, like, what did you say? Those two things they might say she has no self-discipline, right?
Right.
Okay, so you might have me who's in great shape and all this, but I'm crazy as hell. So what I'm saying is, everybody's gonna have some kind of flaw. You get what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'm. So
yeah, but Janice,
I get men are physical. I mean, they're visual and all that other crap. You know, they can be 300 pounds themselves and they still want the baddest chick. I get it. You know, but
wait, hold on, because I gotta respond to that. So let's not get lost in the sauce, right? Like overweight is one thing.
Yeah.
And already I've pointed out, I'm not saying that this should be the only thing a person should look for. But let's just flip to the fact that not only is it a lack of self-discipline, but you're not healthy.
Okay, true, but I feel like
so now a man is looking at you like, no, where's the discipline? Where's the self-control? And do you care about yourself? Do you care if you've allowed yourself to get that over? I'm not talking about a few pounds. I'm talking about if you've allowed yourself to get to that point, you're unhealthy.
But I get that.
Healthy. A man has to look at that, right?
But Chloe, if a woman is looking good, a man will overlook all her craziness, her financial issues. Like he will overlook all that if she looks good. And
you're right.
To sleep with her might be overweight, but she might have all her stuff together. She might cook for you. She might clean for you. She might be a really good woman. So that's what I'm saying. Why don't
she gonna have to drop them LBs?
Okay, hold up. I got an issue. You
have to drop them LBs because at the end of the day, it's not even healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. And why would you want a man that has all of this stuff that you say you want, right? And he's coming to the table with all of this, but you want him to accept you. You say this is a flaw. You're unhealthy.
So that trumps.
That's not. No, it's just get that under control. The thing is if you got all of this together, then why you can't go to the gym, Johnny? Let's just be honest. Now we're not gonna have this conversation like we do when we're not being honest with our girlfriends. We're gonna have an honest girlfriend moment. If you got all of that together, you got your head on straight, you cook, you clean, you got a great attitude, you got all of that going for you. That's awesome. I can't translate a woman that would have all of that going for her, but not want to take care of her health. Something's wrong there. Something's wrong. Because if you got all of that going for yourself, all of that going for you, and on the flip side, you won't take care of yourself, like, and make sure you're healthy, that's a problem. There's something behind that. That's the thing. And if a man is smart, he's not just looking at the weight. He's trying to figure out what's the root of that problem, because you got a job, you're smart, you know, you ain't bad looking, you know. So it's like, what is it there then? Because why she won't take care of herself? Why she don't have no pride in herself and her health? This is how you choose better. You start actually looking beyond just what you can see right in front of you, and you start actually asking questions. You start actually paying attention. Sometimes it's what people don't say, it's what they do. That's how you get to the point where you're choosing better. It's not one, don't pick one. I'm not saying you nitpick one little thing. That's not what I'm saying. But that one thing can reveal to you some character flaws or some things that's there. If that person's willing to work on it, as they should, then that's one thing. Because we all have things to work on. But we can't just keep going out into the world saying, this is how I am, accept me how I am. But there's flaws there that are serious, that need to be addressed. And I see a lot of women out here that are saying, accept me for who I am and how I am. But these are things that they actually need to change. Like, they're not good habits. They're not good traits to have, but they want somebody to just take them. And that's on both sides.
So I got a question, because I got to touch something real quick. So Janice, so you made a statement. You said, I think you said it, men are visual and all of that crap. I think that's how you said it. How you just gonna breeze over that? Like that's not important to a man. Like how you just gonna breeze over that? Like I think this is a part of the conflict as well. Sometimes I wonder, listen, this is not directly at you, Johnny. This is a general question because I said I'm in a lot of conversations. Sometimes I wonder, do women actually know what men even want? Because, like I said, some of the stuff that I hear, like I said, it just gets breezed over, and I'm like, how we just gonna be breezing over stuff, and then have questions when we choose somebody and things don't go as planned? Like, it's possibly because we were not taking into consideration what that person, or didn't even understand what that person really wanted from the beginning. Like, I think we really gotta start having these conversations. Listen, that's one of the reasons why, we do this show, right? Because these are a lot of the topics that people don't really want to talk about. Circling back to the point, or the question that I had asked you earlier, when you mentioned that you wouldn't tell the person that they were overweight, and that may be why, they're not getting to the type of dude that they're trying to get to. Like, I think we got to get to the point where we gonna keep it all the way real, because we're saying that we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but then we acting like their feelings ain't get hurt. My bad. We acting like their feelings not getting hurt because they can't get to this person that they claim that they want. Like, that's probably hurting their feelings right there, because they trying to figure out, I'm out here throwing my bundles on, throwing my lashes on, getting my makeup done at the Mac counter, and I can't get these dudes to check me out. So they trying to figure out what's going wrong. And at the end of the day, it's because they don't want to touch the main thing that is visually stopping a lot of these types of dudes that they say that they want from approaching them. But then at the same time, we will see that and identify that, and then we won't say nothing. Like, we just let it ride.
Well,
And I'm trying to figure out, like, this all of these things, they intertwine into this whole picking issue that we have. And I'm just wondering, like I said, we got to turn the corner at some point. Somebody got to say something.
well, I don't want to get caught on the weight when it comes to women. I want to let that go for a second. But I will say, at this age, they know. Like, it's not that they don't know. It's just a delusion. It's just how Lizzo runs around here. She know. She know. But they put this, it's like this, it's like when you're bipolar or schizophrenic and you have this other personality. But you create this whole different person. Like, I feel like they do know, like they know, but it's like a psychological thing that they have to do to be strong and to be able to go on every day and not try to hurt themselves or kill themselves. I think it's an armor. They have to do that. I think it protects them. So I'm not gonna, at this age, like,
I got you. So you saying like a facade, basically.
it's a mental health thing. It's to help them be able to keep going on. Because if you took that armor off, like a lot of them, it could be dangerous for them. They could be sad, they could be lonely, they can get with dudes that are just horrible. So I'm not gonna be that one. When they know, when you go to the store, when you go to the beach.
But then I think it's also a issue of our culture and how we feel that we don't need each other, especially women. If I hear another woman say she don't need a man, she's okay without a man, I'm going to scream. Because, ladies, men don't feel that way. Men understand that we need a woman, first of all, for family. Y'all don't, and I think that because you guys have done it so long without a man, you don't feel like you need a man. But we see the difference is we need a woman for family because we can't have no babies. And we can't make y'all have no babies. Y'all can have a baby and don't even care who the guy is. You just gotta have some sex. But men understand if we want if we want family and legacy, we need a woman, and smart men preferably need a wife. So I think once we understand that we need each other, it's not an option. And I think that so many women have put black men as an option, and they're lazy. I don't know how many women I work out with a woman. I said, well, why don't you go to the market? Because my wife always says she get hit on all the time. She go to Kroger, Target, Home Depot. She said, it's plenty men out there. They don't know.
It is a lot of men.
They don't know black pepper from lemon pepper. And she said, and then you said, why don't you? Oh, I'm not gonna do all that. Well, I gotta do all that to find a man. God just gonna put me in the right place in the right time in the right. They don't feel like it's work, but they'll work for that job. They'll start as a senior and go all the way to a nurse practitioner. But they won't put that into finding a husband or making themselves valuable to a man.
Mm.
I know some people, well, I'm not going to do that. Why I got to do that? Because you want a husband? That's why. Because you want a husband.
Mm.
You don't hear men saying, oh, I ain't going to do that. Bro, you need to work. You need to find another job. Oh, bro, I don't feel like I got to do that to find no wife. Me and the boys would just go to Jamaica and lay up on the beach. But it frustrates me so much when I go on these beautiful vacations and you see everybody else with family, and then you see 5 or 6 sisters. No man. Laying on the beauty, everybody else, you don't see professional, educated black guy trips. Not for real. Guys might go to Vegas for a party or something, but they just don't guy trip like y'all girl trip for real. Jamaica, Mexico. And it's sad because I see other people with their families. Black men with their wives, with their kids, and all of them ain't pretty. And all of them ain't particular shape. But all the sisters, they got the BBL, single as French toast, with a bad attitude.
Here we go.
Bruh.
Here we go.
with a horrible attitude. And I thought it was just me. But then when I go with my wife, and she said, I see why they ain't got horrible attitudes. It's only 5 of us in the whole damn hotel. We see each other, can't even speak. I'm trying to speak. Hey, how y'all sisters doing?
That's how they do. That's how they
I
do.
know you think
They ain't got time.
Me because I'm with my wife, and maybe you could just ask my wife how you get your husband. But they got too much pride. Well, I don't need no man. I'm bossy. I'm this and that and the other. But you by yourself.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about the fact that? Can we talk about the fact that women, not all women, obviously, but can we talk about the fact that women are walking around here with the worst attitudes? Like, just got like a nasty attitude for no reason. I mean, you know what I mean? For presumably no reason. Like like you can't even speak. You can't even say hi to them. You can't even speak. You can't get no smiles. You can't get no waves, nothing like that. I think women need to understand that men are paying attention to that. Like, I think for a long time we thought as women that like men didn't care. I think we are in the mindset that men's, they don't need much. They just need us to look cute, and then that's it. They just need us. They need our bodies to be tight. They need us to look cute because men are visual. That's true. So if we got that going on, then we good. We walking around with our face screwed up. We got an attitude. We won't smile. We won't speak. We have no idea that if we would just put a smile on our face every once in a while and go out into the world, how much positive energy we would attract. How many men would actually approach us?
Too many.
How many favorable responses we would get. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I get so many favorable responses when I smile. Literally, I get so many favorable responses. Like, I just been trying it now. Like, when the guys speak, I just say hi back and I smile. How are you? I've had dudes offer to do things for me, help me out without me even having to ask. They'll see that I need some help and they'll, oh, you need help?
Put the water in your
I
car.
don't even have to ask. Just for smiling. And the interesting part about it is these guys, not one of them have asked me out. All they did was help me. They didn't even expect anything back. And I'm like, wow, do we even understand what living in our feminine does for a man? And how
That's
they
real.
respond. I missed what you said though earlier, Janice. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh no, I agree. I agree with you about what you just said about attitudes and stuff like that. Um, what was that? I think I went in the military when I was 18, and then remember when I first got in the military, like the first 2-3 years, I used to get in trouble so much. Like they used to be like, "Why do you have an attitude?" But that's how it was in Southfield. You walked around with a stank attitude all day. But I kept getting in trouble. I'm like, why do I keep getting in trouble? And then finally one day I'm like, look, if it walk like a duck, quack like it's a duck, And I think at the age of 20, I changed. Like I smile all damn day long, and I smile too much, which could be a whole nother issue, But that's all I do is smile. People come up to me all the time, so it does change how people perceive you and how they come up to you and things of that nature. Because then when I go, not to put everybody down in Detroit, but when I go home to my cousins, they all got attitudes. And then we go to the store, everybody's saying hi to me and talking. They say, well, I don't know why everybody just talked to you. Because I don't walk around with a stank attitude. But sometimes that has to do with I was taken out of my environment also. I was taken out of my environment and I was like, okay, there's other ways than to have an attitude all day. But if you're stuck in your environment sometimes, that's how everybody is all day. It can just be normal.
Yeah, no, I feel that. And like I said, I think that's a valid point. So your environment definitely plays into that. Oh, my bad.
Getting back to how you pick, I wanted to kind of say something because I wrote a few notes because I wanted to really say some things because I remember when I was at church and it never was explained, and this is just my opinion on the difference between a man and a male. A male is what you're born, it's your genitalia. A man is something different. So, I always go back to the first man who was Adam and how God set things up. First, God put Adam in the Garden of Eden. That means he gave him a place. Then he told him to name the beasts of the field. So he gave him a job. Then he gave him Eve. And I wonder sometimes I always think, well, since God is omniscient, he knows everything, why he just didn't put Adam and Eve in there together in the beginning? He knew Adam needed Eve. Why did he just put them in together? Because it's a man's place to build a foundation. It's a man's place to provide and protect and be able to be responsible for the things that he provides in this world. So I think because of the breakdown of the family, the breakdown of the church, so many of our young ladies don't know really how to judge a man. They're judging him based on totally on their feelings. And I think this is the age requirement. Like I think if a man is 30, you need to judge him by his character.
Always.
First of all, how he takes care of himself. His hygiene, his body. Then see how he takes care of the people that he claims to love. his mother, his siblings, if he has kids, how he takes care of his kids. If a man doesn't say something about his kids in y'all first conversation, that's a red flag.
Well, I got a
If
question
you
for you.
gotta wait till 2 or 3 months for him to say he got some kids, that's a red flag. So I think that we have to judge, and men have to do it too. We have to judge based on their character. Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you, Vincent.
Sure.
So now that I am 41, I have made a whole list of things that I will not back off of. Like I've just come to that point. That's my list. I'm not backing off of it. I'm becoming
Okay.
what's that girl from TLC? What's her name that they always talk about?
Which one? T-Boz,
Chili?
left
Chili.
eye.
Chili got a list. I got a
Chili,
list. Okay.
Chili still ain't got no.
Listen.
Chili still ain't got no man.
But listen, so look, man, because I go on a lot of dates, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm usually the one to be like block, block, block. Because I made this new rule. I don't know if it's fair. I don't know what you guys think when you try to choose a person. My new rule, just because of my foundation, the way I was raised in a healthy household, a mom and a dad. I'm not saying you got to have a mom and a dad, but that's just what I was raised in. And I found it to be men that, let's say we get in a conversation, they like, F my daddy. I'm like, oh, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Or F my mama. Oh, Lord. I'm like,
Ooh,
so
hold on. F your mama. Ooh.
A lot of people got mommy and daddy issues nowadays.
That's blasphemy.
Oh
Not mama.
my God.
Not mama.
There's a lot of bad mamas out here.
Okay.
A lot. So I made this new rule, and certain men have been getting, like when we say choose better, a lot of men have said that's not fair. Because I'll be like, hey, if you didn't come from a healthy household, I can't date you. And that's how my rule. So I'll say, hey, how's your mama? Oh, she's great. Okay, well, how's your dad? Why are you asking? But what's wrong with your dad? Oh, I don't F with my dad. Okay, well, I can't talk to you.
Well, I have to say that's 80% of men.
But okay, so that's
so you have a very small percentage, and then you have to understand those type of men who probably have come up with mother and father and a great relationship. They're maybe out of that 20% that men are left, 15% of those men are already married at 41 because they grew up with mom and dad. They understand the value of marriage, so they did what they seen. They didn't have no baby mamas and totally rejected the tutelage that their parents gave them. They followed the instructions. So you really only limiting yourself to 5%. And then they got to be 5'9". They got to make a certain amount of money. So your pool is so limited and so niche. I think the more you should understand, where he at as a 40-year-old man in his life right now.
Yep.
Now if he's saying, okay, I don't mess with my father and I don't mess with my kids, and that's something totally different. But since most of us have come from fractured relationships, I told you when I dated my wife, I could count on one hand out of hundreds. So that's not common to come from a two-parent household, especially two people that's married. And most of those people follow the instructions and they're married at 41. Now, at 21, you might have a chick, but at 41, most of those men that you're looking for are already married.
Well, let me change my dating app real quick. Let me take
Oh my God.
So Janice, I got a question about that. What you just said. So you said basically you passing on dudes who don't have solid relationships with two parents or come from two-parent households.
Well, you don't have to be a two-parent household. Let's just say in a healthy relationship with, even if they're divorced, they can be divorced. As long as you have a healthy relationship with your mom and a healthy relationship with your daddy. I'm okay with that.
Okay. So my question to that is, because I said you said that you go on many dates or a lot of dates. What type of man are you looking for?
Okay.
She got the list.
It says he's calm, patient, caring man, likes to work out, eat right, emotionally intelligent, must have a good relationship with both parents, must be financially secure, not rich, but has a retirement plan, gives back. I would love a man that works in the community. Must have good teeth. I can't get a past teeth. That's the only physical feature I can't get past. He has to have good teeth. Be consistent and don't need a green card. I'm not getting you a green card. I put that on there.
You know what? I like your list. Can I ask
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
Before you, I got one question. How about being a father? Because he will be, any man you choose is going to be a stepfather. So that's not on your list?
I had that be good with kids. I usually put that on there too. I just didn't have no room, but usually good with kids.
Well, that's the main thing, though.
No.
That would be the main thing.
That's gonna, yeah. That's usually always on my list. You got to be good with kids, and you can't have a child under like 4.
5. Yeah.
Okay, 5. I'll do 5 then.
Okay, so let me ask this question: What's negotiable on that list that you just read us?
She like nothing. Nothing.
Emotionally intelligent, because a lot of men ain't emotionally intelligent.
What does that mean?
Okay.
What does that mean?
Oh my God.
That's what I wanted to ask about, though. I wanted to ask about the emotional intelligence. This is why I wanted to ask about that. And I'm glad you said, no, for real, though. I'm glad you said that's negotiable. You know why? Because emotional intelligence takes work. And it takes a lot of No, I'm for real.
No, I agree with you. I'm looking at Price over there.
Listen.
But what is emotional intelligence? What is that?
Emotional intelligence takes work. Like for you to be, basically it's calling you to be self-aware. It's calling you to be self-aware, to be aware of yourself, have a realistic understanding of who you are. But that means knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, being able to identify those things. But here's the thing. I'm glad you said that's negotiable. You know why? Because there's a lot of women out here who are not emotionally intelligent. But yet I'm hearing that term being thrown a lot around in the female circle. Like men and emotional intelligence and men not are emotionally intelligent. And I'm like, when did y'all become emotionally intelligent? Because there's a disconnect with some women. That's why we're talking. We talked about it tonight about the delusion that some women are under. We talked about that just earlier in the show. So how you gonna say you want a man that's, and I'm not talking about you, Janice, but how you gonna say you want a man that's emotionally intelligent and you're not emotionally? You don't even know yourself, girl. How you asking for somebody that's emotionally intelligent? Spell it. You be wanting to put people on trial. Like, where you getting this stuff from? Once again, I feel like this is something you done heard in the women-osphere or the man-osphere. You done heard these terms in these YouTube streets, and you like, oh, that sounds good. Let me add to my list.
Yeah, it just means being self-aware. Like I'm very self-aware of who I am. Like I analyze myself. I know my weaknesses. I know my strengths. I know I analyze myself. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying not everybody has done that work.
Yeah, you got to be self-aware.
Not everybody has done that work. And so if you've done that work, then you absolutely have the right to expect your mate to also have done that work. But there's a lot of people who haven't, right? But they're still asking for that from somebody else. And I just think, it just goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like where are people getting this stuff from? Where is this coming from? We all, if you're Black in America, you got some kind of trauma, period. And if you have not done the work to heal it, then that means you're carrying it around with you, boo-boo.
Yeah, like I said, and the reason I asked that, because I'm just, like I said, I'm always curious, what is on the list, right? So we know we hear the ladies want the 666, right? But
long as I need somebody that can at least keep it up at this age.
Dang.
Look, you got to get past that stuff.
You can't make this shit up.
You
can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
Wow. But no, I just, like I said, sometimes I wonder, because I said when I hear some of these lists, and I said this is not directly at you, Janice, but I hear some of these lists, right, and it's always like I said, the 666, or it is always the emotionally available. I said I hear some of these, I hear some of these terms a lot. But I'm always curious that I never hear, ladies, when they reveal these lists, I never hear them say that they're looking for masculine men. Or like I never hear ladies say that I'm looking for a man to lead. Like money will be on the list, how much money he makes. But those other foundational things are not there. I'm looking for a man to be a mentor. Like those items never come up on the list. Those are key items for real solid men who are going to lead and keep a family intact. So like I said, looping back to the title and talking about choosing, I wonder, do some of these lists need to be adjusted? Because like I said, I think we are missing out on foundational things that are going to sustain us long term versus some of this short term stuff that we look for on these lists. And like I said, fellas are no different. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, some of these fellas out here, they probably got a big booty on their list.
Always.
And it's like that ain't sustaining. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a lot of fellas ain't got nurturer on their list.
See,
Yep,
I put
I'm sure.
motherly on my list. I put motherly. I'm motherly.
No, that's good. But that's what I'm saying. I think that's the direction that we need to go in because, to your point, Janice, as we get older, priorities change, right? But those priorities should still be in play when we're younger. Yep, everything can't be based on this material stuff or these buzzwords and all of this stuff that we like to use nowadays. Like I said, you got to have that same mentality, that sustaining mentality, even when you're young. Yep, not just when you're old. You know what I'm saying? When you're getting older, you starting to slope down at that point. But imagine if we had some of those mentalities or some of those sustaining mindsets that we're talking about right now. Imagine if we had those when we were younger. Our trajectories probably would be totally different. Yeah, but that's not what we was doing at that time. Go ahead, Vince.
Then I also think that, especially that's been pushed to the black community, is this equalness, and
Right.
this toxic masculinity. I don't even know when that word came about. That everything masculine is toxic.
What?
That everybody wants the same place. Now we have this movie coming out, the King Woman or something like that.
Right.
And it's like it's that we're fighting for the same position and not understanding. Like I always say, like with me and my wife, I'm Phil Jackson, she's Michael Jordan. I'm the coach, she's my star player. And women don't even realize who get the most money. Michael Jordan. Who get the most fame? Michael Jordan. Who get most of the responsibility? Phil Jackson. So my question would be, why would you even want to be the coach? Play your position as the star player. But we've pushed to women that you can do it all, that you can have it all, you can be a man, you can be in charge, and it's detrimental to your nature. It's not even letting you live in your feminine. Because Michael Jordan has all the privileges and none of the responsibility, all the fame, all the money, but Phil Jackson is the one that get all the blame, and he the one that has to keep everything together. And see, real men understand that, and we run towards that. We want that responsibility.
No, I
we
agree
want
with
you
you
to be able to be our star player, but don't try to be the coach.
No, I agree with you on that, Vince. I think the issue is though, are women today willing to give up this essentially coaching position to be the star player?
I don't know. I mean, I look, I'm over here stuttering.
That's all right.
I can only speak for personal thing. Me personally, I'm the marriage type. I should be married. I just chose the wrong person to marry earlier. I did 10 years. He wasn't a bad guy. Nothing wrong with the guy. Actually, to be honest, people be like, "Why you got divorced?" It just wasn't. We could have probably stayed married, to be honest. So when I understand all this, but I think it's harder for me who got divorced at 40 to now go back into the field of choosing people. Because most of the guys that's single now, there's a reason why they're single. There's a reason why they're single. There's a reason why they're single. Let's just be honest.
Wait a minute.
If they 40-something years old and they never been married, there's a reason why they've been single. That's how I feel. And you know what they say always, Chloe? Oh, well, I ain't find the right one. In 41 years, you ain't find the right one. Child, go somewhere with that.
Wait a minute. Wait. Don't we have more?
I would agree on that one.
41 years. Don't ever. I think that's the worst answer you can give me. I'm always gonna ask that question. Why you never been married? Why you single? And they always say, "Oh, I didn't meet the right woman." You ain't meet the right woman in 41 years.
You know what? Hold on a second before you talk.
I have to agree too,
because I do believe that when a man is prepared to be a husband, he findeth the wife.
I agree.
I don't know too many men who say they really want to get married and they for real. It don't take them long to find them a wife. The wife that they want, if they're prepared and really want to be married, it don't take them 2-3 years, 5 years.
I agree.
So
okay. Hold on.
If you give me that response,
I agree with that.
Yeah, you give me that response, I'm blocking you right there.
I agree with that.
I'm done.
No, it's true. Like we can't say that for what. No, come on now.
No, you
if
give me
it
that
was
response,
women,
that means you're not self-aware.
If it was women, if it was a woman and she was 40 years old and she was unmarried, what do we say about her?
I'm gonna give
something there.
But I'm gonna give you the proper answer. I'm gonna be able to answer and say, "Hey,
no. I'm not talking about. No, I'm making a point. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if it was a woman and she's 40 and she's unmarried, we're gonna say the same thing. We're gonna say, "Oh, something wrong with her," or "Oh, what happened there?" Like something, right?
And that might be a little
her
more.
response. Her response makes a difference. What's her response to why she's single? Don't say it was all the man that you got mad in the past.
I'm just saying there's something there. Even on a man's side, if he is 40 and he got it going on like that, he's all together and all of that like that, I agree. Some woman would have several women would have at least tried to snatch him up by that point. And if he's not married, there is something there to that. There's something you need to figure out what it is.
Hold on. So
what's going on?
Married and no kids?
What's going on, bro?
Right?
Yeah. Now, if you got a couple kids, you might say, okay, you ain't married because you got to pay child support. You can't do both things. But married and no kids and successful and good looking.
What's going on, bro?
You know what he's gonna say? It's the woman and he got a great pullout game. That's the line.
Wait. Hold up. So we about to just sit here and just try to overlook the fact that it's slim pickings out here?
Okay, so then that should be valid for a woman then too when she said that.
What?
If it's slim pickings, no. If it's slim pickings, when a woman says, "I can't find a good man, ain't no good men out here," then it should be slim. Then we should be able to use keep that same energy. If a man can say that, oh, it's because it's slim pickings, then a woman should be able to say that too. Keep that same energy.
Period, boo.
We ain't gonna be doing. That I've realized is that it might be slim pickings in Detroit.
Yes.
But if you're a certain type of man, you can go anywhere. It's different in the South. Mm-hmm. North Carolina, women are completely different. And even some places of Atlanta. So you might say it's simply because here in Detroit, because we're so segregated and it's So everybody's the same. But if you go to other places and if you got that type of money, you 40 years old, you should be, the world is your, well, the United States is your pool. It ain't just Detroit.
Okay, I
So
give you that. I
yeah,
give
I
you
have
that.
to agree with the ladies. If you a dude, a black man, got it going on 40, come on now.
I give you that. I give you that. Let's see, your surroundings and your demographic does play into that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't like how y'all in here.
You outnumbered
No,
today,
no,
boo.
because the title is choose better. So as a woman, when I ask those questions, I'm going to ask certain questions. So if you give me that, it's all about your response. If your response is, I haven't met the right woman, or these women out here are crazy, or these women, like, it's just the women. And I think a woman, that's what you said, choose better. So that's something that you need to pay attention to, what he's saying out his mouth. He's not saying, hey, I did this wrong. This is what happened along these lines. I made a mistake and chose the wrong people, and I did this. If you just say the women out here crazy, okay.
I give you that. I give you that. Like I said, because at the end of the day, that's accountability. You know what I'm saying? But so once again, making that point that you just made, so we gotta have that accountability on both sides, Janice.
But I can give you an answer. I don't have a problem with giving an answer. My answer ain't gonna be like, oh, it's the men out here. No, that's not what I'm gonna give you the answer.
Okay, all right. But I say you about 1 in a million with that response, because a lot of these ladies ain't giving no answer. It's
No,
the
I'm
men.
ready. I got a list. I'm ready.
But I think also that your response is, and take this away from Janice, this is somebody else. Okay. A man is going to say, well, okay, then what? So are you going to leave me when things get bad and we just don't get along? You know what I'm saying? Because it would be more, it would be a believable story if like it was something that it was. And I think that that's our issue now too in marriage, because my grandmother, as I was going through my divorce with my first wife, who was my high school sweetheart, we had 2 kids. She would say, "Why don't y'all just stay together for the kids?" And I was like, "That don't make no sense. Stay together for the kids, and then get divorced." She said, "Stay together for the kids, then you'll still be young, because they have more loyalty for the family and for marriage. We just leaving somebody because we're not happy." And I would be like, well, if he was all this and you got a child, and so what chance do I really have if I meet you older in life, we don't have no kids together, so when you are not happy with me, are you gonna leave me just because we don't get along?
I mean, my mother's friends, a lot of them are in their 60s, and they got divorced from their husbands now recently because they just wasn't happy. So I mean, a lot of women are divorcing their husbands,
which is absolutely insane. Which is absolutely insane. You spend all your life with somebody, but this is because we have been taught, and I think this is real personal for me, because marriage is also about building for when someone, when you're old. Marriage is also a business transaction. It's not just for you. And by my mother passing with no husband, she died basically broke. And I know we would like to say that people ain't out here getting no real money. People 2 or 3 checks away from the Poe House. The pandemic showed us that. So I know people want to get up here and say they got $1 million in retirement and this and that and the other, but they don't. And my mother worked hard, had good jobs, but she was a single parent, and she was never really able to really save. So she had to depend on Social Security and all that, and it's not enough. But my grandmother, who stayed with her husband, she, house paid for, her Social Security, his Social Security, her pension, his pension, able to live on through the end of time. But our parents are having to depend on their kids financially. So, divorcing in your 60s is, I don't, that's different.
They were all financially stable though. They all got a lot of money.
See, that's what I mean. People want to say a lot of money.
No. Her and her husband, they build like they saved, like they were both accountants. You know?
But most people don't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Most women are, the majority.
Yeah.
Most women make under $80,000 a year. That's across the board. Most black men make 50. That's across the board. You might have a person here, a person there, but the majority, 51% of people that's everybody really, are check to check. If you don't get 2 checks, you almost gonna lose your house. So unless we build together, unless we have 2 people, 2 incomes in the household building together, how are we gonna sustain to the end?
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real. Well, man, let me loop this back. Let's say we coming up on that 10 o'clock mark in a few minutes. I just want to loop back to this title. I want everybody on the panel just to drop a couple things, for the ladies and the men that they should add to their picking criteria. Just a couple suggestions of things that people should be looking for, versus what we're looking for now. Yeah, just kind of as I won't call it a solution, but I'll call it an aid. Yep, in this process of picking and selecting, the opposite sex, when we're looking to be in these relationships, and then ultimately get to a point of marriage. So yeah, just drop a couple things just for the people so they, they got a couple keys to take with them. And like I said, I'll start, just for the ladies, start looking for masculine men. Yeah, but what I mean by that is look for a man who has a foundation of being a man who has examples of what men do, a man who essentially takes charge, a man who leads. I said that is important. I said I know that there's a huge agenda right now to emasculate men. Going back to Vince's point when he talked about the movie with the whole whatever king, whatever the little movie is, there's a whole agenda
I am
around.
Woman King.
Yeah, whatever that is. There's a whole agenda around pushing men, especially masculine men, lower and lower and lower, and making them more and more undesirable. Yeah, that is where the whole term that gets leveraged now to the whole toxic masculinity. That's where that term was created. Because essentially when a masculine man says something, that's what he gets in response. Yeah, so like I said, for the ladies, add that to your list. If you want a masculine leading man, that is going to be sustainable over time. So add that to your list. The second thing that I will add on the list is ambition. If I don't know if that's on a lot of the ladies' list today, but I'm going to add that and say, ladies, you need to add that to your list. Yeah, you need to look for a man who shows you qualities that essentially he's never going to be broke. Yep, and what I mean by that is even if this man, let's just say he's working a 9 to 5, even if this man loses his job, he's still going to get his hustle on to make sure y'all are good. That's the type of dude I'm talking about. Yep, he ain't never broke. Yeah, but I don't mean just money. I'm not talking just financial. Yep, he don't let things just break him like that. So yeah, those are my two that I said I want the ladies to add to their list. Yeah, I'm gonna go loop over. Chloe, you got anything you want to add in for anybody?
I don't know that I would add that I have like specific things that I think women should add to their list. I would just say for the ladies, I would say, and men, what I'm going to say can apply to both. I think it's more about your focus. I think we need to be more intentional about how we date. And Vince has said this before. We need to be more intentional. You can't keep running around here saying, I need a man, I can't find no man, or where the good women at. And you on so many fish or whatever. I don't even know because I don't, I'm so out the game with that. but you on plenty of fish looking for your next hookup. Like it doesn't translate. Be intentional about who you're dating and why. If you know you eventually want to settle down, then quit playing around. Now, this one is for the ladies. Ladies, this is the young ladies, because I don't feel like us older women talk to the young ladies anymore. We don't pour into them. We are supposed to do that. So here's a nugget for young women who might watch this show. Don't waste your 20s. Don't waste your 20s trying to party and so hyper focused on your education that you don't leave room for life. It's nothing wrong with getting education. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. I'm just going to tell you to make time for your life, because your future involves more than just the kind of job you get. That's just you setting yourself up to join a rat race. But what about the quality of your life? Not the quantity, not the kind of house you're going to be able to get or the kind of car you're going to be able to get. Not that those things aren't important, but they need to be secondary to the quality of life you want to have. And you can't have that quality of life if you're a woman who wants to settle down one day, if all you're hyper focused on in your best, most productive years, which is in your 20s, if all you're hyper focused on is getting an education. Because this is what happens. You get into your 30s, you finally got a decent job, paying you some money. You're able to get you that car you always wanted. You're able to get you a really nice place. And then you go, okay, I'm ready for my man now. And now you are not as youthful. You're more set in your ways. You probably got 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies under you. Couple relationships that didn't work out because you ain't asked half of all of that. And now you want a man. And you want a man to come in and listen, ladies, and some of y'all in y'all 30s with kids. And you want a man, the kind of man that you feel you deserve. You want him to come in there and you want him to accept all of that. And he like, no, I'm going for the girl in her 20s. That, she ain't in a danger zone. I ain't got to worry about rushing to procreate with her because, she didn't hit the wall. These things do matter. I know, ladies, that you're tired of hearing this, but the reason why these things keep getting repeated over and over again is because men do pay attention to this. It does matter. It does matter. Don't waste your youth being so hyper focused on a career that's really only going to set you up to be great at being alone. That's what I would say to the ladies. And then men, I would say this. Men, get the stop the cap ready. Men, all of y'all, not high value.
Stop the cap.
Y'all not all high value. Okay? Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace, was speaking to a specific kind of man. Y'all not all, you know what I'm saying? Some of these dudes got y'all thinking that y'all all out here high value. Y'all not all high value. Y'all not. You're not. It's a lot. The statistics show most of y'all average. That's the statistics show. So while you out here asking for a woman to, now don't get me wrong, I'm not excusing women from living in their feminine, because y'all already know that I believe that very strongly. But while y'all out here asking certain things for women, like Vince said earlier, that's what you want, but can you get that? Right? So I would just say overall, for both men and women, let's set some more realistic expectations. Set your expectations at a more realistic level. Where are you right now? Right now, in this very moment, where are you in life? Okay, there you go. That's what you can get. If you overweight, don't got a stable job, not making much money, don't got your own place, don't got your own car, okay, then that's what you're gonna get. Ladies, if you got, you in your 30s, 40s maybe, got a couple kids, baby daddies, you got extra LBs on you. Don't ask for 6, 6, and 6.
Okay.
That's not what you can get.
There it is. There it is.
Let's just be more realistic and more intentional about, what we doing out here. We wasting a lot of time.
That we
Lost
are.
time cannot be found.
That we are. That we are. All right, Janice. I see you done put the green bottle down. What you want to say?
I agree with Chloe, but it can be very subjective also in that sense. Some women, no matter what, there's some women that can have 5, 6 kids and still get the man on what they want. So I think it's just subjective sometimes. But if I was to tell women, I forgot what I was going to tell women. My wine kicking in. But listen, I would tell women. I say what I've learned now. Look, I just turned 41 a couple weeks ago. I'm sticking to this now. At 41, when I go on dates, I'm asking all those questions up front. Ask all them questions up front. It makes them uneasy. I don't care. Once you get those answers and there's something that you there's a red flag, what I do is I say, hey, I had a great time, but you ain't the one. That's what I do now. And then I just block. And I move on to the next. I'm not going to a second date, third date, because sometimes that's what happens. You could be attracted to somebody. Attraction can also mess with you during this dating process, So I automatically, on the first date, you say something and I'm just like, oh, no, I can't. There's no wiggle room on that. Get out of it now, because once you start getting into it and you get emotionally and you start having sex with that person, that's how you get into that. You get caught up, and I ain't getting caught up no more. So I'm asking the questions up front. I don't care if the men are uneasy about it, and then get out of there. If it ain't what you want, get out of there on the first day. You don't. I'm not a Steve Harvey fan, but he did talk about, like, you don't need to go on all these 5, 6, 7 dates with a person. You don't need to. It take about 1, 2 dates, and usually the first date you already know, to be honest. And then I say, get out of there. If it's not what you want, don't be like, because I used to be like, oh, let me give him a chance again. Let me work around that. Let me work on that. Maybe I can change that. No, ain't nobody doing that no more. That's how.
Okay. All right, there it is. There it is. There it is.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Vince. It's on you, man.
Chloe just stole all my thunder. I was gonna speak on being intentional, on trying to
My
figure it
bad,
out
man.
earlier on in life and not wasting time.
Bruh.
And I think with Janice's point, so I'll just piggyback on what Janice is saying. At a certain age, we just got to put it all on the table. And I think that's what happened with me and my situation. Me and my wife, the second date, we was talking about cheating and bad decisions, because when you 40, look, we done lived life and ain't nothing to hide. So we gonna put it all on the table. I told her I had cheated and lied my whole life, but I had changed, and I'm gonna prove it to you. So I think that you do have to have some non-negotiables. You have to have some non-negotiables, but those non-negotiables should also be realistic. And I think that so many ladies get caught up with the financial situation, which I understand it's difficult. And we live so much of our lives that it's going to be very challenging, because it's challenging for me and my wife. We have kids, and that's challenging. So you have to understand that it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy at all. But find somebody that you want to work it out with, that's worth the the struggles. That's the thing. It's worth the struggles, and you can see the light at the end of the road. And also, I'm gonna end it with this. With I always say that we lived our life, but what are we teaching our kids? We got to start teaching our boys total responsibility. Total responsibility. It's all on you. It's all your responsibility. I tell my sons, and they're gonna do what they want to do. I said, you're not gonna move from my house to your girlfriend's house. You're gonna move from my house to your house. You ain't gonna be driving around in your girlfriend's car because I'm gonna make you feel bad about it. I'm gonna be calling you a punk and a B because that's just how I get down.
Oh, Jesus.
Because that's some of what's wrong with it, because so many of our ladies have over taught on emotion and friendship and partnership and all this crap that get them punked. Because they going in thinking, all I gotta bring is my male part to the table and just love her and just be romantic and bring flowers, but they said nothing about paying that rent. And they said nothing about having a vision for your family. And then, of course, women get drawn into it. And then what the first thing they say? He not ambitious. We outgrew each other. He don't want to, So teach our boys to be responsible. It's all on them. And teach our girls how to be cooperative.
That's big. That's big right there. That's big right there. Teaching the boys to be responsible and teaching the young ladies to be cooperative. Well, I appreciate you guys giving your input. Like I said, just to help folks out. I'll just sum it up with this. At the end of the day, if we want to improve this picking situation, I think we all have to focus on being the best version of ourselves. Yep, that's where it all starts. Like I said, we've, presented some great examples tonight. One of the examples was, young ladies walking around with the attitudes. If that's going to affect the type of man that's going to approach you. Yep, that's going to be a part of the picking process. That's going to affect your candidates that even come your way. Yeah, fellas not being responsible or not, representing themselves properly as men, that's going to affect the type of females that come your way. Yeah, so when we talk about, some of these picking situations or these picking failures, I call it, a lot of that stuff has to do with us. It has to do with where it all starts and what we're presenting. And then lastly, I'll just say this, to sum all of this up, we definitely have to make a shift in prioritizing what we need versus what we want.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, everything today is I want.
Mm-hmm.
I want this person to look this way. I want this person to do this. I want this person to talk this way. I want this person to make me feel this way. Like everything is want.
Mm-hmm.
But like rarely ever do you hear anybody talking about what I need. I need somebody to balance me out. I need a man to lead me. I need a woman to cooperate with my vision and where I'm trying to take this family. Like nobody talks like that anymore. Everything is want. Yeah, everything is for show. Everything, for the gram. But like nobody ever talks about what they need anymore. And I think that's, like I said, that's a big piece of what's wrong and how we're going about picking and selecting who we're going to, invest our time in. Shift your mindset to what you need versus what you want. If needs are going to sustain, needs are long term, wants are trendy, wants are short term. Yeah, one day we want Louis, the next week we want Gucci. Like that stuff changed. That changed with the wind.
Mhm.
But your needs is always gonna be that. Ladies always gonna need balance. Yeah, men are always gonna need cooperation. They always gonna need support from women. Like that doesn't change, no matter how old you get. Yeah, so let's shift that. Let's prioritize needs versus wants. And I think our outcomes of who we're picking or how we're picking will improve. Man, shout out to everybody who joined us tonight. Let's say this is our first live night on YouTube. Let's see, we got about 5 subscribers. Let me hold on. Let me
Shout out to the new subscribers. Yes.
for sure. Shout out to those subscribers. I just looked over here and saw that. Shout out to that. Appreciate that. But like I said, we're gonna be rocking YouTube. That's gonna be our main platform. Let's say we may do a little bit with Facebook as well. But we're gonna, try to transition over to YouTube. So yeah, we appreciate everybody supporting. Definitely, keep the likes up for us. Share out the page, share out the show. Like I said, we're trying to get this content to as many people as possible. Let's say get these awesome conversations to as many people as possible and get more people on the panel with us, with more perspectives and different age ranges and so forth. Like I said, the more the better. So we appreciate that. We appreciate all the support. So shout out to Vince, shout out to Janice, shout out to Chloe for repping on the panel. This is Kandid Konvos. We do the show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, every Wednesday night. Like I said, we are representing YouTube, so definitely come check us out. And with that being said, everybody have an awesome night, and we will catch you guys next Wednesday.